Well, good morning, YouTube. It is currently Saturday. Is it Saturday? Yeah, Saturday the 11th. Saturday the 11th of October, 9. I can't see my damn phone. 9:31 in the morning. Getting kind of a later start than usual. Came out to try to check one more thing on my electric battery connection, and I had forgotten that when I took the battery out, that I took the connector mount that comes in the frame. I took that out too to inspect it, and I had forgotten. So I came out and unnecessarily cut zip ties off my wires, unfolded the bike, and went to go take the thing out. And I was like, oh, I had already taken it out. And so then I looked at it again while I had it out, and there's nothing wrong with it. So it's the battery. The battery's defective. I'm just keep hoping I'll be able to figure out what's wrong and I'll be able to use the battery, but it's just not going to happen. Almost didn't go for this ride, man. I woke up, I slept good finally. I mean, I slept like probably 8 hours, but I woke up not feeling very awesome. All my supplements and medicine and stuff seem to be kicking in, so I'm feeling better now. Hence the ride I'm currently on. It sucks. I have 5 electric bike batteries right now. I can only use 2 of them because 2 of them are basically dead unless the miracle happens and they just randomly start working again, and the other one is too weak to use. Right when either of these motors hits 750 watts, the BMS in that particular battery cuts power, even though it's a 48 volt 20 amp hour battery pack. There's like a manufacturer improperly programmed BMS install or some shit, according to what the seller told me back in the day. So again, we got we were up to 1,120 subscribers last night. I did good on my shorts uploads. I uploaded them at the right time and got about probably 15,000 views last night, which is awesome. And then 3 people unsubscribed again. So I really got to try to keep politics out of my rides. I just, I start going off on my political rants, and I think I'm just alienating people that want to watch my videos, but I don't know. I'm gonna chalk it up to like manic political rants that I can't control because I'm manic or something, which I wouldn't put that past myself, because I have a lot of my mom's side of the family, a lot of bipolar and manic people, so mental issues run on both sides of my family. So that's 100% more likely that I have issues, more than I think I have, know that I have, for that matter. I've never been officially diagnosed with anything other than having anxiety, some depression years ago, and panic disorder. But I've never been diagnosed with like having like being manic or bipolar or having any kind of social disorders so far. I don't know where I'm going today. I'm just out riding around, trying to make some content for the weekend for you all to watch. Ugh. I always keep seeing like these little ropey things on the ground around here, and I always think they're like dead snakes, because we do get snakes over here because there's a lot of fields and stuff around here. And then we'll get coyotes come down occasionally from the hills around here and decide to visit neighborhoods and hopefully not carry off any small pets, but they most likely do. Unless they find squirrels, which we have an overabundance of squirrels around here too. So notice my folding mechanism, the lock on my folding part of my bike is like kind of loose again. I just tightened that thing up the other day, like, well, a few months ago, but I tightened it so much that when I initially had to pull it open, I had to use my flathead and like stick it down between the latch and the frame and kind of leverage it open. But now it's like loose for some reason. Like the bolts keep vibrating loose. Screw it, I wasn't gonna do this, but I changed my mind. Oh, fuck. That hurt. That hurt. Pretty bad. I think I'm not going to go up the other half of this. I'm just going to like hop down on the street over here and just ride up the street the rest of the way. Wasn't really feeling the dirt, but I'm trying to make this ride a little more interesting for you all. Oh shit, somebody's been riding a dirt bike around here recently. I just started washing out right there. Fuck. I was washing out bad right there. Oh shit. That's kind of scary. It's not low. It's a good thing having dual motors, man. You start washing out in dual motors, you can get your traction back pretty quick. I went ahead and stuck my tool bags, i.e. Walmart bags that have all my tools in it. I stuck them in a couple new bags, so I have 4 bags on my tools now. Because when I was pulling my tools out to tinker with my battery issues this morning, I noticed that some of my bolts and nuts and stuff were inside the bag, and there's a hole inside the actual, like the black bag on the back of my bike, and there's actually a hole on the side of my bag. But see, the thing is, I don't know if somebody tried to cut into my bag or something when I had it parked somewhere. Maybe a while back. I just don't know how else the random tear just ended up in the bottom of my bag, because I have it bungee down. It doesn't move around. I don't yank on it or nothing, so I don't know how it tore open. So I think someone actually tried to steal some of my shit and maybe saw me coming and like booked it or something. But the only time I'm out of eyeshot on my bike is if I go to the grocery store or Walmart or something, and I haven't done that in a while. Otherwise, if I go to the UPS store, I can see my bike through the window. When I go to the post office, I never drop packages off. I just go to the mail slot in there, so I take the bike in there with me. So I have no idea when someone tried to get in my bag. But I need to do my zip tie sewing job, where I take one of my knives and I poke some holes around the big hole in the bag, and then I'll just run some zip ties through it and then like torque them down and basically close up the hole that way. That was an e-bike across the street. It looks like an expensive one. It looks like a freaking I don't know, like a GT or a freaking Trek, one of the ones with the mid-drive motors, the real expensive bikes, the built-in Bosch motors. So there's like 2 things I need to remember on my ride. One corner on 48th and electric or mountain view, actually. No, electric. Got to be careful when I turn because the gutters got soft dirt in it and I don't want to wash out and eat shit. And then also on 48th, I got to remember if that big chunk of asphalt's there if I head back that way. I'm telling you this to remind myself of this, so I don't like start jawing away on the freaking mic and then forget to pay attention to the asphalt that might be on the road in front of me. It is a beautiful day today. It is beautiful. It's like 75 degrees and beautiful. It's like they're having a sporting event over at Cajon. It's like Little League or something, since it is a Saturday. At least I believe it's Saturday. It could be Friday for all I know. I'm pretty sure it's Saturday. Yeah, there's parents there. It's definitely Saturday. Maybe I'll cut through Cal State and see if there's any skaters at the stairs or anything in there. Oh, that's what that is. I can see my shadow like off to my right and behind me, and I kept seeing something sticking off the back of me, and I'm like, what the hell? And I realized it's my my rear flashing light that's on my backpack that I have strapped on my backpack, because it looked like it was sticking up off of the bag on the back of my bike, but it's not. Took a second. And I've seen my kickstand in the shadow before and thought that something was like stuck in my bike, and it was just a kickstand. Before. Morning. I was going to actually go right where she was and swerve through the sidewalk there. I'm glad I saw them. That would have ruined both of our days and possibly killed the dog. Wonder what they're doing right here. Looks like maybe they're putting more like covered seating right there or something. Nope, no skaters today. They're probably actually at the actual skate park we have over by Blair Park. I don't know if there's any other skate parks around here. I know of that one. I don't know, there might be another one somewhere. I think there was one off of North Park when it runs into Electric, but they took it out and they put a church in the spot, so they took the skate park out. Maybe. That was years ago, though. I don't know why that wood was there. It didn't seem like it was covering up anything. My lights are all pointing upward from riding in the dirt and bouncing up. This is what we call aggressively rolling through stop signs. That's what I call it, because I didn't obviously slow down at all. Because it's Saturday and there's no fucking buddy here. I thought I just heard a train horn. That's weird. What the hell's there a train around here? Maybe it's my tires. Maybe my tires sound like a train horn. There's a bump coming up here. Can't see it. Oh, there it is. I forget about it sometimes. Bug in my beard. I got a bug in my beard. That's weird. There doesn't seem to be a pressure sensor on this road. It's part of the lane. There's one for the turn lane, but there's not one for the straight lane. Weird. Oh. There we go. This doesn't matter. It's amazing. They just installed this new road over here, repaved it like a few months ago, and it's already looking mighty beat up. Bugs are out to get me today. This one tried to fly in my left eye right now. Luckily it hit my face. That would have been impactful and very painful if it had hit. trying to think if anything interesting has been happening outside of the election, which I don't want to talk about anymore. Had enough of that. Nope. Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. Just hoping Florida and the East Coast don't get hit with any more hurricanes anytime soon. That'd be awesome if that didn't happen. That's about it. Oh, we've been having a lot of earthquakes in California. I don't know if you've noticed that. Like, I know we had one last night, or this morning. I was sitting there and something fell off of one of my shelves in my room, and I'm like, what the hell? And then all of a sudden, I could feel my bed moving, and it kind of lasted a while. It was like a very weak earthquake, but it just lasted like probably like 20 seconds. Felt like my bed turned into a really crappy, halfway broken down massage bed in a cheap motel. I wonder how expensive massage beds are now. Like, you always see in old movies when people use them, they cost like a quarter or something, but now they're probably like $5. They probably take credit cards now. You probably use your phone and cash app yourself a massage out of your bed. See, I think of random shit and I start talking about it. It just comes out of nowhere. It comes out of my years and years and years of experience and watching random weird shit on TV. And now the internet. Well, not now, I mean then and now the internet. I can't remember when I first got on the internet, like back in the day. I don't know if it was early 2000s, 2003. No, we moved into the house we're in 2003. I think I got on the internet in like 2001. That's when I got my first computer. I bought a, back when Gateway was popular and affordable, I bought a Gateway computer. And that Gateway led me to a gateway of all kinds of entertainment options. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing right now. I'm gonna go down Pershing. Yeah, like the internet, like back in the day, got kind of boring after a while because there wasn't much to do unless you were like watching adult material, or like there wasn't much to do because there was no YouTube. There were like sites that you could go where people uploaded videos, but it's like kind of like videos you really didn't want to watch because they were like gross and people being mutilated, and really got to see the level of sickness people have inside of them by the kind of crap they were posting online before everything started getting censored. See, some people are upset that a lot of stuff gets censored. Now I'm happy. I don't want to see that crap anymore. I saw things, I'm like looking at stuff, and all of a sudden I'm seeing people getting decapitated and shit, and I'm like, what the fuck? And that still sticks with me. Back like during like the early days of Middle Eastern wars, when we had the internet back then, and there was just so much messed up shit on the internet. It was disgusting. We don't need to see that shit. We know it's happening. You don't need to like put it on the internet. It's gross. It's like, God, I can imagine what would happen if like the family of those people saw that shit, dude. I mean, it haunts me. It bugs me. I have nightmares about that shit still. Fucking disgusting people, man. So I would get bored. I'd be like sitting at home. I'd be like trying to find something to do online, trying to find something to watch on TV. Because like back then, when I was working at Pizza Hut, I was on my feet all the time, and I had plantar fasciitis from being flat-footed. And I wasn't as big as I am. I wasn't as big then as I am now. I was still kind of big because I was working at a pizza place, and my feet were killing me all the time. So like, I was laid up in bed all the time, and all I had access to was like video games, the internet, and TV. And we didn't have cable at the apartment. I just had a bunch of like old VHS tapes I kept watching over and over again. So that was the last apartment I lived in before the house I'm in right now. So I'd get bored. I didn't have like, there was no real online gaming back then. There was Xbox Live, but it was more or less for downloading like music and game updates and shit. But there was no I had a dial-up internet connection, and then eventually I had DSL. I think I was at the apartment for like over a year before we got DSL. We had to wait for it to become available in our area from, I think at the time it was GTE. That was back when GTE was, before it was Verizon. But man, it was boring. It's just, I could have gone out and done stuff with my friends and stuff, but my feet were killing me all the time. I couldn't walk. I'd get home, my feet would be killing me. I'd lay down, and like about an hour later, I'd get up, maybe go to the bathroom or something, and I would collapse on the floor because my feet were so bad. And my bathroom was in my room at the apartment, and it was like 20 feet away from me to get to the bathroom, and I couldn't. It would take me like 10 minutes to get to the toilet because my feet were that bad. It was excruciating pain. Plantar fasciitis ain't no joke, man. That shit hurts. And I was on my feet, like, and I'd go to work, it was like taking pain relievers like crazy, and I was just in so much pain. And my stuff wasn't swollen, like my ankles and feet weren't swollen. You could actually see the veins standing out on my feet from all the pressure. And I didn't have the right kind of shoes. At the first, when I worked at Pizza Hut, I didn't have insurance or nothing, so I couldn't go to the doctor or nothing and get like shoes prescribed. And I was working 8-hour shifts, and Pizza Hut had an issue of not obeying the labor laws back then, so we weren't getting our breaks and our lunches and stuff like we were supposed to. They weren't being enforced, so the managers were just letting some of us and making some of us work through when we were supposed to be taking a break and stuff, so I'd never have a chance to get off my feet. And when I became a shift manager, it got worse because then I couldn't take a break because there was nobody there to cover me when like opening shifts. On opening shifts at Pizza Hut, you're by yourself with the driver for most of the day, and then I think around midday, another driver comes in, and then maybe 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, a crew member might come in. Some kid that just got off of school would show up, and then you'd get to be able to take a break. But I was like going in at like 7 in the morning because my manager, we didn't have a dough person at the time, so they had me making the dough and opening the store and doing all kinds of shit. They had me setting up the make table, and I had to count out the till, do the deposit for the armor service. I had to do everything before the driver even got there at like 10 o'clock in the morning. Or like 9:30. I think we opened at 10, and the driver got there at we opened at 10:30, and the driver got there around 10 o'clock. And would help me do some stuff when he or she got there. But yeah, it sucked. My feet were just killing me all the time. And I would finally start to recover like after like 8 hours, but the pain would be gone away enough for me to be able to move around more. But then I'd be on my way back to work, the rinse and repeat, and go home in pain again. I think there was only one time when I got home from work and I fell asleep, and I was so exhausted I just dropped off for like 12 hours, and I woke up and I wasn't in any kind of pain. My body just finally had a chance to recover to get rid of my pain. And I had this asshole of an area coach. His name was Ergun Uslu. I don't know if anybody in this area knows Ergun Uslu, but he's a flipping asshole. And he knew my feet were all jacked up, and I told him I needed to go to get workman's comp to go get my feet checked out, and he denied me. He told me, he said, if you try to go to the hospital and get your feet checked out do a workman's compensation claim, I'm going to deny it. That man was such an asshole. And like he used to live in Turkey. He migrated here to get away from like authoritarian rule and all that other kind of crap. But then he came to our country and started doing that kind of shit to people. Like I wasn't the only one he did that shit to. He like treated everybody like crap. He had his favorites. and they would kiss his ass because they didn't want to not become his favorites and become his enemies. And then everybody else he just treated like shit. Hello. He was a horrible human being. And then for a while though, he turned into kind of a nice guy. He and his wife had their first child, a daughter, and he softened up. It's like, oh my God, that actually happens. You have a kid and you quit being an asshole. But then, like, after she got a little older, he became an asshole again. Started treating people like shit. And then he was surprised when he got fired. He was surprised when he got fired for harassing people. He was like, what did I do? I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean, what did you do? It's like, man, there are people just like, the most horrible people get put in positions of power. Like the best bullshitters in the world get put into power. And then they wonder why they're hated and reviled and why they eventually get fired. And it's like, dude. But like, yeah. So Ergen, if you're still alive and you watch my videos, fuck you fucking piece of shit. And like we had this, and I worked my ass off. I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm just spouting out facts right now. I worked my ass off at that job for like very little money. And it was very hard. I was always trying to help out the other shifts, try to make sure our numbers in our store were good. And I would work my ass off, and the other people would come along and fuck it up. They'd keep people too late because the closing managers were lazy and they didn't want to work. So they'd have people working overtime that shouldn't have been working overtime, and then all the labor hours would get all screwed up. And they'd come in the shift for the shift, and I would have the nighttime prep done, so all their pre-tops were done for the rush, and they had plenty of dough and everything was clean and ready to go. Plenty of boxes made. And then like I would also, if I had time, and even if I didn't have time, I would try to get all the frozen prep for the following day done, all the frozen hand toss and the stuffed crust, all that stuff done, so that all they would have to do is come in, run the shift, make sure the customers are happy, focus on making money, clean up and go home. And they would screw it up, and then I'd go there the following morning, and the store would be a nightmare. Like they would think they were going to run out of dough, even though I forecasted it, and I knew they weren't going to run out of dough, but they'd get paranoid and start making more dough. And I'd come in, the dough mixer would be all dirty. There'd be shit everywhere. The pans for the dough wouldn't be oiled for the following morning, so I'd have to do that when I'd go in, and it was fucking horrible. The floor was dirty. I went in before the make table was still... They had broken it down and put all the food away, but they left the make table dirty overnight when the power goes out. And just needless to say, we had a bit of a rodent problem there. I'm amazed. We always got A's from the health department. We always got A's, but the store was always fucked up. They must have been bribing the freaking health inspector or something with free pizza. Yeah, and then I'd have like pissed off customers calling me the next day saying, wondering what happened to their order, why they didn't get the day before, why they weren't getting discounts, why shit was so late. Like they would just fuck everything up. I'm not bragging, dude. That's just facts. I worked my ass off. I did a good job, and all I got was shit for it. I got shit on constantly by Ergen. Freaking like we had this big like thing we went to, like a like it was a gathering of like the shift managers, the area coaches, not the general managers. They had to stay because they had to run the store, so it was during the day, like during one of the slow days, like a Wednesday or a Tuesday or something. And so we all went to this thing. I forget where it was. It was like about an hour away, so I caught a ride with someone because I don't drive. I've never owned a car, so I caught a ride with somebody. Claudia. I caught a ride with Claudia, right? Claudia was cool. I like Claudia. And so everybody knows how I worked, and I worked my ass off, and I was dedicated and shit. And so Ergen gets up there, and he's like talking about like the best employee he's ever seen and all this other shit. And I'm sitting there going, and he was looking right at me the whole fucking time. He was like locked eyes with me, like he was actually going to be a nice guy for once, and gave it to somebody else. He gave it to somebody else. He gave it to Claudia, oddly enough, and she deserved it. She worked her ass off. She was also a very hard worker. I didn't. I don't know what the word is, feel jealous towards her. I just was pissed off that he had the audacity to lock eyes with me, make it seem like I was going to get the award, and then give it to somebody else. That kind of asshole. He was that kind of asshole. And then like he would come in and he would do the double-edged compliment, like, so wow, Larry, I'm amazed you're actually doing a good job for once. Instead of saying, hey Larry, you're doing a good job, he would have to taint it and make it like horrible. It's like, why are people like that? Why the hell are people like that? I don't understand. I was so fixated on talking about Ergen right now and venting about my past Pizza Hut experience that I kind of don't remember my whole ride right there. I know I traversed that area, I just don't remember. But yeah, it's like, and then I just said other managers, like, my managers were pussies. My general managers were pussies, man. They kept quitting. I'd be working just as much as them, just as hard as them, and I would be able to hang in there, but the rest of them kept quitting. They're like, oh, we can't handle this, it's too hard. I'm like, bitch, I've been doing this for 5 fucking years. I mean, before I was a manager, and then like as a manager, shift manager for 4.5 years. I'm like, you're complaining about you working hard? I work double shifts, so you can have days off. I work hard. Let him go ahead of me. He was going slow, like he was going to let me go, but I decided to be courteous and kind because I'm pissed off right now, and it's the right thing to do. Yeah, so like they would complain about shit, how hard their jobs were and crap. I'm like, you make like $50,000 a year working at a Pizza Hut. I get like not even a tenth of that. Well, no, I was making about probably close to like $20,000 a year as a shift manager. That's pushing it. I mean, with my tax refund and stuff. But like, no, it was less than that. I don't know how much it was. I know I had enough to pay my bills and have a little bit of like creature comforts. But like, and I tried looking for other jobs, like when I was employed at Pizza Hut, and everybody wanted to bump me back to minimum wage. Hello. And yeah, I was trying other pizza places. I'm like, look, I've got like 10.5 years of experience working at a pizza place. Why do you want to kick me back to freaking minimum wage? I've got more experience than probably the people that were trying to hire me. But I would have to go start all over again, and I'm like, that's bullshit. I have like massive amount of experience. I have good customer service skills. I love pizza. I still love pizza. I can't really eat it anymore, but I still love it. And eventually I just quit. I just said, fuck it. I went in one day, had enough of their shit, and I walked out. I said, I'm done. I'm not giving you 2 weeks notice. You've been disrespecting me for 10.5 fucking years. Why do you think I'm going to give you 2 weeks notice? You can go fuck yourselves. And then I ended up working at McDonald's, and that was worse. Worked at McDonald's for about a year. Hated that job. I don't know why. I mean, some actors and actresses are so fucking fake, man. They get on and say, McDonald's was my first job, and it was amazing. I love it. You're so full of shit. Nobody loves working at McDonald's. Even like the corporate people at McDonald's don't like working at McDonald's. My Uncle Bob worked at McDonald's. He didn't like working there. Jesus. Like there's the damn commercials. My first job was McDonald's. I'm loving it. It's like, no. No, you weren't. You're getting paid to say that. I can't believe you're doing that. I can't believe you're getting on, letting all your fans know that McDonald's is a great place to work. Fake ass freaking people. Then I worked at KFC. I was working at KFC while I was working at McDonald's. They determined there was no conflict of interest because their menus were vastly different, and McDonald's was burger focused and KFC was chicken focused, so they let me work there. And then I had health problems and I was unemployed for a while. Then I got my job at Home Depot. Had that for 2.5 years, and then I got let go because of performance issues. I'm not going to lie about it. I got into a supervisor position and I wasn't really ready for it. And like I said, they wouldn't let me demote myself though. And I was a hard worker and I showed up. I didn't call off. I don't think I ever called off. I think the only time I ever took off there was vacation days. And when my dad passed away, like when I was working there, and they let me take like 6 days off for like grieving and stuff. But that was it. And I worked my ass off at that job too. I didn't stand around with my thumb up my ass. I kept myself busy. I was a cashier. When you're a cashier, and then a head cashier, you got to stay busy. If it's slow, you clean shit off. You front face the end caps. You do stuff while you're standing there. You try to find shit to do. I don't know. I've worked hard at every freaking job I've ever had, and I've gotten shit. Oh, god damn it. I've gotten shit on all my jobs. I'm kind of glad I can't work anymore. I'm kind of glad I'm disabled. I'd love to have a job, and I'd love to be able to do more e-bike stuff and be able to buy my own shit and do more modification videos and better e-bike videos with money. But I'm also glad that I don't work anymore, because I got shit on constantly. Sucks. And you know, it pisses me off. They're like complaining about how California had raised the minimum wage for like minimum wage workers. They're like, oh, we can't afford to keep our businesses open. Sure you can. Your CEOs and corporate people need to take a fucking pay cut. Why do they get to drive around in Lamborghinis and shit while the people that are actually working can't even afford a car, can barely afford to ride the bus, can barely afford to feed their families, or themselves for that matter? Mothers and fathers that'll starve themselves to make sure their kids don't go hungry because their job doesn't pay them enough. And the fact that they're working around food all day and they're fucking starving. And you're complaining about the minimum wage going up, and you got corporate people that won't take a pay cut, won't take a hit for their people. That's bullshit. This country is fucked up. We may be free, but we're not free. That's fucking bullshit. Fucking bitching about like, oh no, we have to raise our prices now. Bullshit, you don't have to raise your prices, man. Their profit margins are so fucking high all the time. Especially coming out of the pandemic, man. All these fast food places were making money hand over fist because nobody was going anywhere. They were getting everything fucking delivered to them. They made so much money. And you know, they just blew it all. We don't know what the fuck did they do with all that money? I'm confused. They gave themselves bonuses and shit and praised how awesome of a job they were doing when they weren't really doing any different of a job. They were just making more money because nobody could go anywhere and go do anything. So everybody's sitting at home eating fast food, getting fat. It's fucking bullshit. I've tried finding online jobs. I can't find anything online I can do. I mean, it's all kinds of shit I can do, but no one's going to hire me. I don't have a college education on paper to back it up. I mean, I know how to do all kinds of shit. I mean, I built this fucking thing. I know how to work on this bike. I'm pretty good mechanic, but I'm not exactly going to be able to be a mechanic online. I mean, this bike's pretty fucking creative. I've got a huge imagination and I'm extremely creative, but no one's going to hire me because I can't prove it. I could prove it by pointing out my bike or my other bikes that I've made in the past or built or modified, but I don't have it on paper. They need it on paper. I've tried online schools, and online schools are a fucking joke. Those are like the biggest freaking scam. That's why they keep going out of business and filing bankruptcy and getting sued, because they know they're full of shit. I know people want the government to be out of stuff, but you know, honestly, we need more government regulation. We need the government to step in and protect us from fucking shiesty businesses and fucking price gougers and scam artists and all that other shit. The government needs to step in and start doing something about this shit. Because I'm tired of hearing all these horror stories of people on YouTube getting all their life savings stolen by scammers, and not just like scammers from India. I mean scammers from their own country and all this other shit. Morning. And it pisses me off. There's like only a few freaking YouTubers out there, like anti-scammers out there, and there's like only a few of them out there actually doing anything, and the government's not doing anything. They're having to rely on hackers and shit, our good guy hackers, to counter-hack these freaking scammers and shit. Instead of the government doing something about it, why isn't the government doing anything? Why are they relying on private citizens to do shit? What's the government being paid for? They're taking our tax money, and what the fuck are they doing with it? They aren't paying anybody to fucking enhance our cybersecurity. I don't know if I'm ready to go home yet. I gotta go home. Shit, I was not done ranting, but I gotta go home because my batteries are running out. Well, I wasn't going to get political, but it happens. I can't help it. There's so much to be pissed off about lately. There's not a lot of positive and a whole lot of negative. Well, you know what the cool thing was, though? I was actually going to not make that very long of a ride because I was still feeling kind of like crap, but my anger sustained me, and I was able to ride further. I went 14 miles. So yeah, being pissed off helped for once. Okay. I'm pretty sure some of that got cut off when my cameras... I'm not entirely sure when my camera reset. I can't remember how far I was into the ride when I started talking about stuff. That's what happens when I run out of stuff to talk about that's positive. I just flip a switch and go completely negative. So I apologize ahead of time if this pisses anybody off. Ergen's probably dead, honestly. He was like going bald and in his 40s, and that was like over 20 years ago, like 21, 2000. He probably got fired in like 2003, so yeah, I'm pretty sure he's dead now. He reminded me of my step-parents. It's like, it kind of sucks. It's like you go to work and you have someone you're working with that reminds you of an abusive step-parent. That's fucked up. Yeah. Oh, that freaking hurts. My beard got tangled in my helmet strap clamp. Ow. Yanking out some face pubes are painful, man. Especially beard hair. My other beard donners will agree with me that your beard hair is like painful as hell when you're trying to groom it. Even when it's wet. The best time to groom your beard is when it's wet. Man. Well, that was that ride, and a little rant at the end. I feel okay though. Used to be when I'd rant like shit like that, and my chest would start to hurt, but it didn't do it this time. Or the last few times, and I chalked that up to the cinnamon supplement I'm taking. I looked it up. Cinnamon is a relaxant. Cinnamon calms your nervous system down. It does all kinds of good shit. So if you're having like, say you're taking anxiety medication and it doesn't seem to be working anymore, try a cinnamon supplement. Just make sure that when you take it, you need to eat a good amount of food. Or otherwise you will get a little bit of indigestion from it because it's pretty strong. But everything tastes like cinnamon. If you hate cinnamon, if you hate it, I'm sorry. I'd say still try it anyway. Okay, god damn. It also helps you get air out of you when you're got a bunch of air trapped in you too. As evidenced by my belching right now. Well, with that, remember, it'd be super duper awesome if you would like, subscribe, comment, share. Turn on those post notifications if you feel so inclined. Subscribers, thank you very much for subscribing. I hope you hang in there. I hope you don't disappear from my channel like the few people I tend to lose every day for some reason. Political differences, I guess. Random new subscribers, thank you for joining the channel. I appreciate you actually subscribing. That's awesome. You saw my please subscribe and my subscribing enhancement videos I attached to my other videos, and I appreciate that you noticed that and subscribed. If you did, if you just randomly subscribed, even better. That's cool. Random viewers, consider subscribing. I have lots of videos up, over 1,800, mostly shorts, and I know that everybody loves watching shorts these days. That's why I keep posting so many of them. If you like the long videos, though, I've got at least a couple hundred, maybe 300 of those up there too. So I've been riding bikes around here for a while, so I got lots of videos up there. With that, remember to have a wonderful whatever, wherever you are, and I'll see you in my next e-bike ride video, e-bike maintenance video, cute pet video, food video if I do one anytime soon, or a random occurrence in the city of San Bernardino. If I'm out and about and something happens, or if I hear about something and it's maybe a festival and I'm feeling okay, maybe I'll go check it out. Okay, bye.